Have you ever noticed how your legs sometimes feel weaker than they used to, or how a good night's sleep seems harder to come by? Maybe you've chalked it up to just getting older, something everyone has to accept. But what if I told you that these little struggles, the stiffness, the restless nights, the occasional forgetfulness, aren't just normal signs of aging? Maybe they're warning signs we've been overlooking, quietly affecting our health more than we realize. It's easy to brush them off as just part of the aging process, but that's a story worth questioning. Many seniors experience these issues not simply because of age, but because of common habits or small mistakes that sneak into our daily lives without us noticing. These small problems can add up to serious challenges if left unchecked. In this video, I'll walk you through 12 common mistakes many seniors make every day. Mistakes that could be silently holding you back from feeling your best. And stick around till the end, because I'll share one simple but powerful habit that can help you regain strength, energy, and confidence. Let's explore this journey together, gently and honestly, so you can enjoy your golden years to the fullest. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Neglecting physical activity. It happens slowly, almost without us noticing. Maybe you used to enjoy a brisk walk around the neighborhood, or you like to garden, rake leaves, or simply take the stairs instead of the elevator. But then, over time, you start sitting a little longer each day. Maybe it's because your knees ache, or perhaps the weather's turned chilly, or you just don't have the same energy you once did. Before long, a whole day can pass with only a few steps from your bedroom to the kitchen, then to your favorite chair, and back again. It's easy to believe this is just part of getting older, that our bodies are meant to slow down, that rest is what we deserve after a lifetime of hard work. But is it true that slowing down is the best thing for us? Let's look at that idea from another angle. What if, instead of protecting ourselves by taking it easy, we're making our bodies weaker and our lives less vibrant? The truth is, physical activity isn't just for the young. Science tells us that regular movement helps maintain muscle mass, keeps joints flexible, and boosts our balance, reducing the risk of falls, one of the greatest threats to independence as we age. When we stop moving, even just a little each day, our muscles begin to weaken, our bones lose density, and even our brains can become sluggish. Inactivity quietly chips away at our strength, our stability, and our confidence, often leaving us more vulnerable to illness and injury than we realize. The good news? It doesn't take an expensive gym membership or high-impact workouts to start feeling stronger. Some of the most powerful ways to keep your body healthy are simple, gentle, and enjoyable. Try taking a daily walk around your block or through the park, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes. If walking isn't comfortable, consider chair exercises, raising your arms, stretching your legs, or gently turning your torso while seated. Gardening, dancing to your favorite oldies in the living room, or even doing light household chores can all keep you moving. The goal isn't to compete with anyone or to push your body beyond its limits, but to invite movement back into your life in ways that feel good and natural. I think of my neighbor, Mr. Harris, who turned 78 last spring. After a winter spent mostly indoors, he noticed his balance wasn't what it used to be. His daughter suggested a daily stroll, just once around the block, rain or shine. At first, it was tough. He had to rest on a bench halfway through. But by summer, he could do 2 laps and barely needed to catch his breath. He told me he felt lighter, steadier, and more alive, and even his sleep improved. So, if you found yourself slowing down lately, remember that every step counts. It's never too late to start moving again. Your body is resilient, and with a little gentle effort, you can reclaim strength, balance, and joy in everyday moments. Give yourself permission to move, in whatever way feels right for you. Your future self will thank you, one step at a time. 2. Poor or insufficient sleep. There's a certain kind of quiet that settles in the house late at night. A peaceful hush that used to mean deep, restful sleep was just around the corner. But for so many of us, as the years go by, those nights of unbroken slumber seem to slip further and further away. Maybe you find yourself tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling, or waking up long before the sun rises. Some nights, it might feel like your body is tired, but your mind refuses to settle down. It's easy to shrug it off and say, that's just what happens when you get older, or to joke with friends about being part of the early morning club. But what if poor sleep isn't something we simply have to accept as our new normal? What if those restless nights and groggy mornings are telling us something important about our bodies and our health? Research shows that sleep isn't just a break from the day. It's when our bodies heal, our minds process memories, and our cells repair themselves. Without enough quality sleep, everything feels harder. Our balance isn't as steady, our moods dip, our appetite changes, and it's even more difficult to fight off illness. Lack of deep rest can quietly sap our energy, cloud our thinking, and increase our risk of falls or forgetfulness. Scientists now know that sleep is just as vital for seniors as it is for children, but it's often overlooked and dismissed as an unavoidable part of aging. The truth is that small changes in our daily routines can make a big difference. If sleep has been hard to come by, try creating a gentle bedtime ritual, one that tells your body it's time to wind down. Maybe that means turning off the TV or computer at least an hour before bed, sipping a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, or reading a few pages of a favorite book under soft light. Keep your bedroom cool, quiet, and comfortable, and try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. For some, a warm bath or a few minutes of slow breathing before bed can work wonders. And if you find yourself awake in the middle of the night, don't force sleep. Try listening to calming music or doing a simple relaxation exercise instead. Let me share a story about Mrs. Jenkins, a 73-year-old widow who had trouble sleeping after her husband passed away. She spent many nights watching old movies until dawn, feeling drained and irritable by morning. One night, she decided to change her routine, turning off screens early, writing a few lines in her gratitude journal, and lighting a lavender candle. It didn't happen overnight, but gradually, she began falling asleep more easily and waking up with a little more hope for the new day. If sleep has become elusive for you, know that you're not alone, and there are gentle ways to find it again. Rest is not a luxury. It's your body's right and a gift you deserve. Take small steps, be kind to yourself, and remember, peaceful sleep can return, bringing new energy and brighter mornings with it. 3. Ignoring balanced nutrition. It's funny how the kitchen can become both a comfort and a challenge as we age. For years, you might have cooked family meals, packed school lunches, and whipped up hearty holiday feasts. But over time, those daily routines can slip away. Maybe cooking for one doesn't feel worth the effort anymore, or old favorites just don't taste the same. Some days, a cup of coffee and a few crackers seem easier than putting together a full meal. And processed foods or takeout start showing up on the table more often, not out of laziness, but out of habit or convenience. It's a quiet shift, so easy to overlook, that many seniors start believing it's normal to lose interest in food or eat less nutritiously with age. But what if that gentle decline in appetite and variety isn't just about getting older? What if skipping meals or relying on quick snacks is quietly robbing you of strength and energy, making you feel more tired and less like yourself? Science shows that nutrition matters at every stage of life, but especially now. As we age, our bodies need more, not less, high-quality fuel to maintain muscle, support our immune system, and keep our minds sharp. Skipping out on fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains might seem harmless at the moment, but over weeks and months, it can contribute to everything from fatigue and low mood to slower healing and increased risk of illness. Here's the good news. Eating well doesn't have to mean complicated recipes or expensive groceries. Try starting small, maybe by adding an extra serving of colorful vegetables to your lunch, or choosing whole grain bread instead of white. Include lean proteins like chicken, fish, eggs, or beans in your meals, and don't forget healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. Even keeping a bowl of fresh fruit within easy reach can make healthy choices more appealing. If preparing meals feels overwhelming, consider making a large batch of soup or stew and freezing leftovers for busy days, or invite a neighbor or family member to cook together. Sharing food, even over a simple sandwich, nourishes both body and spirit. Let me tell you about Mrs. Patterson, who always prided herself on her homemade casseroles and Sunday roasts. After her husband passed, she gradually lost interest in cooking. She started skipping meals, grabbing a cookie for dinner, and soon felt too weak to walk her beloved dog. Her daughter noticed and began coming over twice a week. They would prepare simple, colorful meals together, like grilled salmon with roasted vegetables or omelets packed with spinach and tomatoes. Not only did Mrs. Patterson regain her energy, but her joy for life seemed to return with every bite. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you've been overlooking your nutrition, remember, you deserve meals that truly nourish you, body and soul. Eating well is a quiet form of self-care, a way of honoring everything your body has carried you through. Start with one small change, and watch how it brings back your strength, your spirit, and your zest for the little pleasures each day. 4. Skipping regular health checkups. It's easy to put off a doctor's visit when you feel mostly fine. Maybe you remember a time when you'd only see the doctor if you had the flu, broke a bone, or felt something truly serious. Those old habits linger, and soon enough, the yearly checkup slips off the calendar. Perhaps it's the hassle of making an appointment, or maybe you just don't like sitting in waiting rooms or being poked and prodded. Or, deep down, you worry about what the doctor might find, so it feels safer not to look. After all, if there aren't any big warning signs, what could be wrong? But what if skipping those regular checkups isn't as harmless as it seems? What if, instead of protecting yourself from bad news, you're missing out on a chance to catch small problems before they become big ones? Medical research is clear. For older adults, regular health screenings are one of the strongest tools we have for living longer, healthier, more independent lives. A simple blood test might reveal high cholesterol or diabetes before any symptoms appear. A quick blood pressure check can uncover silent risks for stroke or heart disease. Routine cancer screenings, vision and hearing tests, and even dental visits all help spot issues early, when treatment is often simpler and more successful. The good news is that staying on top of your health doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start by making a list of the routine checkups you might need: an annual physical, blood work, mammogram or prostate exam, eye and hearing tests, vaccinations like flu or pneumonia, and dental cleaning. Write these on your calendar, just like you would for a birthday or family event. If transportation is a concern, reach out to a friend, neighbor, or community service. Many places offer rides for seniors. Don't hesitate to ask your healthcare provider to explain what each test is for or to help you prioritize what's most important for you. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Mr. Thompson, a retired mailman, avoided doctors for years. He felt strong, walked every day, and rarely even caught a cold. But his daughter persuaded him to get a checkup for his 75th birthday. That's when they discovered his blood pressure was much higher than he realized, a silent risk that could have led to a stroke. With a few changes to his diet, a low-dose medication, and regular follow-ups, Mr. Thompson's numbers came down, and he's now back to enjoying his morning walks with peace of mind. If you've been putting off your next appointment, remember, checkups aren't just for when you're sick. They're your chance to protect all the years you've worked so hard to enjoy. Give yourself the gift of knowledge and peace of mind. Taking care of your health is an act of self-respect and love, not just for you, but for those who care about you. Every visit is a small investment in more good days ahead. Days filled with energy, connection, and the freedom to do what you love. 5. Social isolation and lack of connection. Sometimes, the quiet at home can feel comforting. Your own space, your routine, familiar photos on the wall, and the gentle rhythm of a day that belongs just to you. But over time, that peaceful quiet can turn into something heavier. Maybe the phone doesn't ring as often as it used to, friends have moved away, or family visits are fewer and farther between. You might find yourself eating meals alone, filling the hours with television or crossword puzzles, and convincing yourself that you're simply used to it by now. Many older adults slip into isolation without even realizing it, believing that loneliness is just another part of getting older. But is it just a normal stage of aging, or could it be something we can, and should, change? What if those long, silent days aren't just harmless, but are affecting your health and happiness more than you think? Scientists now know that social connection is as important as exercise or good nutrition when it comes to staying healthy as we age. Research shows that chronic loneliness can raise the risk of heart disease, depression, anxiety, and even dementia. Meaningful relationships don't just brighten your mood, they protect your body, sharpen your mind, and add years to your life. The beautiful part is that building or rebuilding connections doesn't have to be overwhelming or intimidating. Start with small steps. Call an old friend, wave to a neighbor, or join a group at your local community center or church. If you're not sure where to begin, try volunteering. Even just a few hours a week can lead to new friendships and a greater sense of purpose. Look for clubs or classes that match your interests, whether that's gardening, playing cards, singing, or learning something new online. Don't underestimate the power of a simple conversation in the grocery store or at the mailbox. Each hello is a thread that helps weave a stronger, more joyful safety net around your days. Take Mrs. Alvarez, for example, who lost her husband a few years back and drifted into isolation. She spent whole weeks barely leaving the house. At her granddaughter's urging, she joined a local art class, something she hadn't tried since high school. The first time, her hands shook with nerves. But soon, she found herself laughing with classmates, sharing stories over coffee, and discovering talents she'd forgotten she had. Now, her calendar is full, and she feels more alive than she has in years. If you've been feeling alone, know that you're not the only one, and that it's never too late to reach out. Human connection is a deep need that never goes away, no matter our age. Reaching out can feel vulnerable, but it's also brave. Every conversation, every handshake, every shared moment is a step toward greater happiness and health. Your story matters, and there are people out there who would be lucky to share it with you. Don't let the world shrink. Let it open back up, one friendly connection at a time. 6. Improper medication use. Most of us keep our medicine bottles neatly lined up on the kitchen counter or tucked away in a bathroom cabinet. They're a familiar part of daily life, a handful of pills in the morning, another at night, maybe one or two after meals. It's easy to believe that as long as you take your medications most of the time, or remember the important ones, you're doing just fine. Maybe you've even skipped a dose when you felt okay or doubled up after forgetting. Sometimes the names and schedules get confusing, especially with new prescriptions or changes from the doctor. You might be tempted to stop a medication early because you don't notice any symptoms, or even try an old prescription a friend recommended for a similar ache or pain. It all seems harmless. After all, you know your body best, right? But here's the question. Could these little shortcuts or mix-ups with medicine be putting your health at risk without you realizing it? The truth is, using medications improperly, whether that's skipping doses, changing the amount, or mixing medicines on your own, can have serious consequences, especially as we get older. Our bodies process medicine differently with age, and what worked for us 10 years ago might now cause unexpected side effects. Missing doses can make a condition worse, while taking too much can lead to dangerous interactions, confusion, or even hospital visits. Doctors prescribe specific medicines for a reason, and those instructions are there to keep you safe, comfortable, and living your life to the fullest. The good news is that with a few simple habits, you can take control of your medication routine and protect your health. Try using a pill organizer marked with days of the week, or set an alarm on your phone as a gentle reminder. Keep a written list of every medicine and supplement you take, and bring it to each doctor's appointment. Even over-the-counter drugs and vitamins matter. If you're ever unsure about how or when to take something, don't guess. Call your pharmacist or healthcare provider and ask for clear instructions. It's always better to ask one more question than to take one wrong dose. Let me tell you about Mr. Wilson, a proud Navy veteran in his 80s, who once landed in the hospital after mixing up his blood pressure pills with his arthritis medication. He thought taking them together would be easier, but the combination made him dizzy and weak. Afterward, his daughter bought him a simple pill organizer and helped set up reminders. Now, he hasn't missed a dose in months, feels steadier on his feet, and has a newfound peace of mind. Remember, taking your medications the right way is not a sign of weakness or dependence. It's a smart and responsible step toward protecting your independence and well-being. You've worked hard for your health all these years. Give yourself the care and attention you deserve by managing your medicines wisely. Your future self, and those who love you, will be grateful for it. 7. Neglecting personal hygiene and skin care. It's easy to let some things slip when you've been around the block a few times. Maybe you used to be meticulous about your morning routine. A warm shower, a splash of aftershave or your favorite lotion, fresh clothes, and maybe even a dab of perfume or cologne before heading out for the day. But as the years roll on, routines can quietly change. You might find it harder to get in and out of the tub, or your skin feels so delicate you worry about making things worse, not better. For some, aches and pains or limited mobility make bathing a hassle. For others, it's just a matter of living alone. After all, who's going to notice if you skip a day? But is this really a harmless part of getting older, or does it deserve a closer look? Our skin is our body's largest organ, our first line of defense against infection and irritation. As we age, skin becomes thinner and drier, and it needs a bit more attention, not less. Overlooking daily hygiene or simple skincare can quietly lead to bigger issues, like persistent dryness, itching, infections, or even small wounds that are slow to heal. In some cases, not washing regularly can even result in odors or rashes that are uncomfortable or embarrassing, making it even harder to want to leave the house or invite friends over. The good news is that a healthy hygiene routine doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. Start with what feels manageable, a gentle shower or bath every couple of days, using mild soap and lukewarm water. Pat, don't rub, your skin dry with a soft towel, and use a moisturizer to keep your skin supple. Don't forget areas like behind the ears, under the breasts, between the toes, and in skin folds. These are spots where bacteria or fungi can hide if ignored. Fresh clothes and clean bed linens go a long way, too. If you have trouble getting in and out of the shower, there are safe, adaptive tools like shower chairs and handheld shower heads. Don't be afraid to ask family or caregivers for a little extra support if you need it. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Think of Mrs. Thomas, who always prided herself on looking her best. When arthritis made it hard to manage her morning routine, she started skipping showers and letting laundry pile up. But her daughter noticed her discomfort and set up a few small changes. A sturdy shower chair, easy pump bottles of gentle cleanser, and soft, bright towels. Mrs. Thomas soon found herself looking forward to a warm bath again, and even began wearing her favorite floral perfume for herself, just like old times. Caring for your body isn't vanity, it's an act of self-respect and self-love, no matter your age. You deserve to feel clean, comfortable, and confident each day. Simple habits can protect your health, restore your pride, and add a sense of dignity and joy to your daily life. Give yourself that kindness. You've earned it every step of the way. 8. Not exercising the mind. Some days, it's easy to let the hours drift by in quiet comfort. A favorite chair, a cup of tea, maybe the background hum of the TV or the same newspaper crossword. Routines feel safe, but after a while, you might notice your memory isn't as sharp or that words sometimes seem just out of reach. Maybe you struggle to remember a neighbor's name or forget why you walked into a room. It's tempting to accept these slips as just another part of aging. That's just what happens, right? You might tell yourself. But what if it isn't so simple? What if the mind, just like the body, needs a little exercise to stay lively and strong? It's a common belief that mental decline is unavoidable as we get older. But science paints a brighter picture. Research shows that our brains have a wonderful ability called neuroplasticity, meaning they can keep adapting, growing, and building new connections at any age. The more we challenge and stimulate our minds, the more resilient they become. Just as sitting all day makes our muscles stiff, going days without mental challenges can leave the brain feeling foggy and slow. A mind that's rarely stretched is more likely to lose its edge. But with even a little bit of daily effort, you can boost memory, sharpen focus, and even lift your spirits. Exercising your mind doesn't require fancy classes or complicated puzzles. It can be as simple as trying something new each day. Read a book outside your usual genre, or listen to an audiobook and discuss it with a friend. Work on a jigsaw puzzle, play a game of chess or Scrabble, or challenge yourself to learn a few words in a new language. Try cooking a new recipe or writing a letter by hand. Even chatting with friends about current events or reminiscing about old times is a way to keep your mind moving. Community centers and libraries often offer free classes or activities, from painting to book clubs to memory games, where you can learn and connect at the same time. Mr. Richardson, for example, was a retired history teacher who felt himself slowing down mentally after he stopped working. His daughter signed him up for a local trivia group at the library. At first, he was nervous, worried he'd be the oldest person in the room. But soon, he found himself looking forward to the weekly meetings, swapping facts, laughing, and sharing stories. Not only did he keep his memory sharp, but he made new friends and found fresh joy in learning. If you've been neglecting your mental fitness, remember, it's never too late to stretch your mind. Every new experience, every bit of curiosity, is like a spark that keeps your inner fire burning bright. Start with just one small challenge each day, and watch how it brings more color, confidence, and connection to your life. Your mind is a gift. Cherish it, challenge it, and let it surprise you, no matter your age. 9. Ignoring mental health. Sometimes, feelings sneak up on us in ways we never expected. You might have days when sadness lingers like a heavy coat, or you feel restless and anxious for reasons you can't quite name. Maybe old friends have moved away or passed on, or the world just feels a little lonelier than it once did. You might push those emotions aside, telling yourself to toughen up or get over it, just like you've done for decades. After all, you've lived through so much. Hard times, loss, changes big and small. Isn't it normal to feel this way now and then? Isn't it just part of growing older? But what if those feelings of sadness, worry, or emptiness aren't just a natural part of aging? What if, left unspoken, they quietly chip away at your well-being and make every day feel heavier than it should? Science shows that mental health is deeply connected to physical health, especially as we age. Ongoing stress, anxiety, or depression can increase the risk of heart disease, weaken the immune system, disturb sleep, and even affect memory. Ignoring those feelings or trying to simply snap out of it doesn't make them go away. It can make them worse over time, coloring your world in shades of gray instead of the vibrant colors it deserves. Taking care of your mental health is not about weakness. It's about being honest with yourself and allowing yourself the same care you'd offer a loved one. Simple, gentle habits can make a world of difference. If you feel down or anxious, start by talking about it with a friend, a family member, or your doctor. You can try journaling, practicing deep breathing or meditation, or spending a little time outdoors every day. Sometimes, a daily walk in the sunshine or a chat with a neighbor can lift your mood more than you'd expect. Community centers often offer support groups or counseling for seniors, spaces where you can share your feelings openly and find understanding, not judgment. And if emotions ever feel overwhelming, There's absolutely no shame in seeking help from a mental health professional. Take Mrs. Green, for example. After her husband passed, she kept busy with chores but felt an emptiness she couldn't shake. She hesitated to tell her son, afraid of seeming needy. But when she finally did, he listened and encouraged her to join a local grief support group. There, she found comfort in talking with others who truly understood, and slowly, her spark began to return. She started gardening again, filling her days with purpose and quiet joy. If you've been carrying heavy feelings alone, remember, your mental health matters just as much as your physical health. Reaching out takes courage, but you deserve support, compassion, and brighter days ahead. Tending to your emotional well-being isn't just good for you. It helps you show up more fully for those you love. Every step you take toward healing, no matter how small, is a step toward more peace, hope, and connection in your golden years. 10. Ignoring early warning signs of illness. We all know our own bodies better than anyone else. After all, they've carried us through decades of ups and downs, adventures, and setbacks. But sometimes, with age, it becomes all too easy to brush off little aches and pains, or to write off nagging fatigue as just getting older. Maybe you notice your joints aching more than usual, or you feel unusually tired day after day. Perhaps you spot a new mole on your skin or find yourself short of breath climbing the stairs. It's nothing, you might tell yourself. I'm just not as young as I used to be. It's a familiar story for many older adults, ignoring the body's subtle signals and hoping they'll simply go away on their own. But what if those small symptoms aren't just the price of aging, but are instead your body's way of waving a little red flag, asking for your attention? Science shows that many serious illnesses, like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even infections, often begin with quiet, early warning signs. When we listen and act early, we give ourselves the best chance to prevent complications, recover faster, and protect our independence. Too often, though, people delay seeing a doctor, hoping that discomfort or fatigue will pass. That delay can turn what might have been a simple fix into a more serious challenge. There's power in tuning into your own body and not being afraid to ask for help. If you notice changes that don't feel right, unexplained weight loss, persistent cough, sudden confusion, wounds that don't heal, or changes in vision or speech, don't wait. Call your healthcare provider and share your concerns, even if they seem minor or you worry about bothering anyone. Early detection is the best medicine there is. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple blood test, scan, or conversation to spot a problem early enough to treat it easily. Trust yourself. You are the expert on your own health. Let me tell you about Mr. Carter, a retired firefighter who always prided himself on being tough. For months, he felt a strange pressure in his chest when walking his dog, but he shrugged it off as old age. When his daughter noticed him pausing more often, she encouraged him to see his doctor. It turned out to be the early stages of heart disease. Thanks to that visit, he was able to get treatment and learn ways to manage his heart health, so he's still able to enjoy his morning walks, and now he pays a little more attention when his body speaks up. If you've been ignoring those little warning signs, remember, it's not a sign of weakness to ask questions or seek help. It's a wise and caring thing to do for yourself and those who love you. Your health and independence are worth protecting, and every small symptom deserves respect. When you listen to your body's early messages, you open the door to more years of energy, comfort, and freedom. Don't wait. Your future self will thank you for it. 11. Failing to prepare financial and legal documents. Finances and paperwork, just the mention of them can make anyone sigh. For many older adults, these topics are easy to put off. Maybe you've told yourself there's no rush, or you felt overwhelmed by confusing forms, legal jargon, or the idea of facing your own mortality. Sometimes it's just easier to leave that stack of bills and envelopes untouched on the kitchen table, to tell yourself you'll get to it next week. If you're like most people, you might think, I've managed this long, things will sort themselves out. For some, it's the emotional weight. The thought of making a will or talking about what happens someday feels uncomfortable, even a little scary. But what if putting off these decisions isn't saving you trouble, but actually risking more stress and heartache down the road? What if, by not preparing your financial and legal documents now, you're leaving yourself and your loved ones vulnerable to confusion, delays, or even conflict later on? Research and countless family stories show that clear plans, like a will, power of attorney, medical directives, and a list of important accounts, can make all the difference in difficult times. Having these documents in place isn't just about money or property. It's about protecting your wishes, easing your mind, and saving your family from added pain or arguments when you're no longer able to speak for yourself. The best part is, organizing your financial and legal life doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start with small, manageable steps. Make a list of all your bank accounts, insurance policies, retirement savings, and household bills. Write down where important documents are kept. Consider speaking to a trusted advisor, lawyer, or even a family member who can help you sort through your options. Update or create a will, so your wishes for your home, belongings, and any gifts are crystal clear. Assign a power of attorney for finances and healthcare, someone who can step in and make decisions if you ever need them to. And be sure to communicate your plans with your loved ones, so there are no surprises down the road. Take Mr. and Mrs. Foster, for instance. For years, they avoided talking about their estate, worried it would start an argument or bring bad luck. But after a close friend's passing caused a painful family dispute, they decided it was time. They spent one weekend going over papers, meeting with a lawyer, and telling their children where everything was kept. The relief they felt was immense. Not only were their affairs in order, but they also found comfort knowing their family would be spared confusion and stress. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you've been avoiding this task, remember, preparing financial and legal documents is an act of love and protection, not just for yourself, but for those who matter most to you. You're giving the gift of peace, clarity, and care, no matter what the future brings. Take one small step this week, and you'll find it's not as daunting as it seems. Your family, and your future self, will be grateful that you did. 12. Not asking for help when needed. There's a quiet pride that comes from handling things yourself. Many older adults have spent a lifetime working hard, caring for families, and pushing through tough times without complaint. Maybe you've always been the one people turn to for advice or support. So when daily tasks start feeling a little heavier, whether it's carrying groceries, getting up the stairs, or managing new technology, it's tempting to keep pushing forward, to tell yourself, I can manage, I don't want to bother anyone. Perhaps you worry that asking for help means losing independence, or that it's a burden for your loved ones. For some, it's simply uncomfortable to admit they need a hand. But what if needing help isn't a weakness, but actually a sign of strength? What if reaching out, whether for practical support or a listening ear, can make life safer, easier, and even more joyful? Research shows that seniors who ask for and accept help when needed tend to be healthier, happier, and more connected. Trying to do everything alone can lead to unnecessary accidents, stress, or even isolation. Sometimes, just a little assistance can keep you living independently in your own home for years longer. The key is to start small and think of help as a partnership, not a loss of control. Maybe it's asking a neighbor to pick up groceries during icy weather, or reaching out to a friend for a ride to the doctor. If managing bills or medications feels overwhelming, don't hesitate to talk with your family or a trusted advisor. Communities offer all kinds of support for seniors, from transportation services to meal deliveries to tech help at the local library. Sometimes, professional home aides can provide just enough help to keep your days running smoothly without taking away your privacy or autonomy. Consider the story of Mr. Jefferson, a proud grandfather who prided himself on fixing everything around the house. When arthritis made it hard to climb a ladder, he kept quiet, worried his children would worry or insist he move. One day, his granddaughter noticed him struggling and offered to help hang the holiday lights. Not only did they finish the job safely, but the two shared stories and laughter, turning a simple task into a cherished memory. By saying yes, Mr. Jefferson gained not only help, but a deeper connection with his family. If you've been holding back, afraid to ask for help, remember, everyone needs support at some point, and there's no shame in it. Accepting help can actually strengthen your relationships and give you more time and energy for what truly matters. You deserve safety, comfort, and companionship. Letting others in isn't a sign of defeat. It's a wise, loving choice that honors both your needs and the people who care about you. Reaching out is an act of courage, and each time you do, you make life a little brighter, for yourself and for those lucky enough to help. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to remind you that none of us are perfect, and that's perfectly okay. Aging brings its own set of challenges, but it also offers incredible opportunities for growth, joy, and connection. The 12 common mistakes we talked about today: neglecting physical activity, skipping sleep, ignoring nutrition, putting off doctor visits, isolating ourselves, misusing medications, neglecting hygiene, not exercising the mind, overlooking mental health, ignoring early warning signs, avoiding important legal and financial plans, and hesitating to ask for help. These are not traps, but gentle signals calling us to care for ourselves a little better. Remember, change doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small steps, like taking a short walk, setting a bedtime routine, choosing one healthy meal, or calling a friend, can build momentum and lead to big improvements in your quality of life. You've already overcome so much in your life. Now it's time to honor yourself by embracing habits that nurture your body, mind, and spirit. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this: your well-being matters deeply. You deserve to feel strong, rested, connected, and loved every single day. And you don't have to do it alone. There is help, support, and community waiting for you. Please share in the comments which habit you want to focus on first, or any story you want to tell about your own journey. Let's support each other. And if this video brought you hope or useful insights, please like, share, and subscribe so more people can benefit. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to your health, happiness, and all the bright days ahead. You're not just aging, you're thriving.